Alright. It's a good day when you get off and, well, I mean, yeah, that's a good day. It's a good day when you get off and you can go home and eat some Tubbies, and randomly you have a thought that just enters your brain, and you get your camera equipment ready, get your microphone in order, and you start talking. Let's hope that's the case for this video. I was thinking, I know randomly I do that, I use this thing up here for thoughts from time to time, and I was thinking about what rap beef does for artists' career, and if it means anything, if it's beneficial, or is it necessary for any kind of growth. And one of the main things that kept hitting me was beefs like Nas and, you know, JayZ, beefs like Tupac and Biggie, even Drake and Meek Mill, Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj. What these beefs generally do for the artist's career, and how you can take a beef and make it negative for yourself by even not responding. So first and foremost, when I say beef, I'm not talking about like running up on people. I'm talking about rap beef. Like, you guys are going back and forth at each other with bars, with the music, with the rapping. Not trying to go see somebody, not trying to go shoot them, you're not trying to go catch them off guard and jump them. That's not beef, that's just ignorance, that's just violence. I feel like that's a state of being mental. But the more and more I think about this rap beef thing, the more and more I think it can be beneficial in changing the perception of how everyday people, your fans and people who don't know you, how it can change their perception of you, how it can change their opinion of you. For the most part, the Drake and Meek Mill beef, for instance, Meek Mill took a heavy hit because of the way he handled the situation. Not only is he known for gangster rap or maybe a little bit more street rap, but he's a battle rapper from Philly. And the first thing he did when he had an issue with Drake, as opposed to coming at him through his music, is he tweeted about it. He started typing on Twitter, which is why his famous name now is Twitter Fingers. And he went at a rapper who never claimed to be hard, never claimed to be street, I'm assuming thinking that Drake wouldn't come back at him. When Drake gives him a warning, not too long after that, he drops bars. You know, he responds with a diss. He didn't respond on Twitter. He didn't say, come see me. He responded with bars. And he talked about some pretty relevant things in Meek's career and Meek's personal life that got us to look at Meek and go, you better kill this. So when Meek responded, he was supposed to be on Drake's head. He was supposed to be giving information about Drake that either most people don't put a certain way or think about, and he didn't. He tried to kind of say why everything Drake said about him was kind of wrong, as opposed to just going back at Drake. But that's not the most important thing. Meek Mill losing this beef situation, even though it's technically not an L in life for Meek, I'm talking about in terms of rap, and the beef kind of engulfed Meek's career and gave him like consistent L's. Now I know that's on the fault of the fans. I know many of the people who were looking at the beef from an outside perspective was just giving Meek L's just because they wanted to give him L's. But I feel like now we're at the point where it's kind of affected Meek's career. It's kind of affected him to the point where people, some of them, are listening to his music ironically. Some of them are listening to his music simply to find negatives or bad things within it because they still have that Drake stigma placed on him. There's nothing wrong with having fans and having a bunch of people listen to your music, but there are some people, like I said, that if they have a certain perception of you, that will listen to your music just out of the fun for it, just to roast you, just to flame you, not to support you, not to see how you've grown, not to see what schemes you're using, but they literally listen to it because they don't like you. They're listening to it just to shake their head and say, you know what, Drake was right. I think about how much different I would look at Biggie had he responded directly to Tupac after he dropped Hit 'Em Up. Now I don't know what the actual consensus is when it comes to Biggie versus Tupac and how people rank them and how people like to listen to them. Me personally, I can agree that Tupac is my favorite of the two, but if we're putting them in a realm of rap and I'm expecting bars, I'm going with Biggie, you know, in a realm where lyricism is a top priority and Pac is legitimately in his diss song being extremely direct. There's really not a scheme to Pac's music when it comes to that diss track, okay? There's nothing crazy about it when you look at the lyrical aspect of it. Biggie, on the other hand, is someone who's known for that kind of music, so to see him go at Pac or respond would have been amazing. It would have made me look at him different. And from what I know, Biggie didn't really want to participate in the beef. I mean, he responded to Pac in slightly to Pac's line about saying that he had sex with Biggie's wife, and he responded to that line on JayZ's Brooklyn's Finest track, but never did he actually respond to the entire thing. Never did he fully come at Pac. I can't speak for the reasons behind that. I don't know if he was afraid. I don't know if he just didn't want those issues. I don't know if he just, you know, didn't want to make something bigger than it was. Maybe he knew that Pac may have been paranoid at that moment. He didn't want to stir the pot. I understand, but I would have looked at it different. There's no way I would have looked at the situation knowing that Biggie is the better lyricist of the two and been, you know, rooting for Biggie if he didn't respond. Because now my perception of Pac is much bigger than my perception of Biggie because he didn't respond. Pac was viewed as this person that couldn't be messed with, this person that couldn't be touched after he dropped that diss record. He was looking that way beforehand, but still, after this, it kind of solidified him in that aspect, like, nobody better diss Pac. Nobody better make a song about Pac. If anybody comes at him, he's gonna body him. So I ended up having a way more positive perception of Tupac than Biggie because of how aggressive Tupac was, how direct he was, how straightforward he was. He just didn't care. He seemed to be coming at everybody's neck. So our perception of Pac was that he was this cutthroat individual that really didn't care who you were. Anybody could get it. That perception would have been twice as much for Biggie had he had a response. You know, I can't help thinking that my perception of Biggie would have changed had he decided, hey, you know what, even though I didn't do it, I'm gonna embrace the accusation of being involved in Pac shooting and just respond with like some bars, like some crazy nonsense like, pulled up on your block, half a clip in my Glock, I sprayed you with 5 shots, don't call yourself Tupac. It's just something, just to light up the world of rap for a little while, just to really get something started. Okay, I don't want it to get violent, but I'm just saying, I would have been Team Biggie all day, that's all I'm saying. Like I said, sometimes responding isn't the best way to handle things, but for your image, for your perception, it wouldn't be a bad idea to respond with a rap. This is why I say rap beef may not have been necessary in Biggie's career, but it could have helped our perception. It could have helped his image. But there are also other cases where taking a rap beef may not be the best thing for your career. I look at Remy Ma and I look at Nicki Minaj and I'm like, this beef should have ended back in February. Remy Ma dropped a pretty substantial diss record on Nicki Minaj back in February. I have a video on that on my channel, but she dropped a diss record to her already, and here we are in November and she's still taking shots. It's like, at some point it becomes an argument of, should you continue doing this? Are you wasting your time? Is this person worth a response? And if they do respond, is this the person that you want to be known for taking down in the rap game? I'm not saying Nicki Minaj isn't this great artist. I'm sure she has a huge following. I'm not debating that. But what I am saying is, if you could take down, at this moment, Drake, or you could take down Kendrick, which would you prefer? You're gonna want to have that title around your waist of, I took down the strongest in the rap game, alright? And I'm not saying Drake doesn't make great music, but Kendrick is a superior artist when it comes to rapping. So I would rather go against the top dog and take that title. Remy Ma going against Nicki Minaj isn't a bad idea in terms of popularity and who's at the top, but knowing who Remy Ma is and knowing the battles that she's fought, it just seems like a waste of time for her to go back at Nicki. And then if Nicki does respond, no one's really gonna expect that much from her. She's gonna get the benefit of the doubt from her fan base, and she's gonna get the benefit of the doubt from casual listeners because no one's expecting her to body Remy Ma. So you have instances of rap beef where you can handle it the wrong way, like Meek Mill did in the Drake beef. You have instances of rap where, you know, you can just not respond, and, you know, the person who dissed you in the first place we have a much higher regard for him, or our perception of him is that he's this cutthroat, raw individual who shouldn't be messed with because of the way he came at you on his diss record, which is how we view Tupac now. You have another instance where we all know who the superior rapper is, but they just keep kicking a dead horse, like constantly trying to drag out a beef that really isn't worth anyone's time, because at the end of the day, if I have to see two people go back and forth, the last two people I would want to see go back and forth is Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj. Okay, now if I'm gonna put my money on some people, I throw Rhapsody into the conversation. The only instance of rap beef that I felt was performed correctly was the beef between Nas and JayZ, because they both responded. They both had back-to-back meanings and messages shot at each other. They both had diss records against one another, diss records that were so direct that we knew who they were talking about, even if they didn't always name drop. And here we are years later still listening to both of them. Like I said, my perception of a lot of the artists now is that now we're living in a very slow pace when it comes to rap. You know, now people aren't beefing over rap music, they're beefing over personal issues. People are sensitive, People forgot to prioritize the genre that they're in. Like, the genre you're in is supposed to limit your emotions. The genre you're in is supposed to keep you from being emotional and responding like, you know, two kids on a playground. In this genre, if you have an issue with someone, you respond to them with a rap. You respond to them with a verse. So in my opinion, I think if offered or if available, rap beef is something that should be considered, because if you handle it the correct way, it means nothing but the best for both people participating. I don't think artists should shy away from a good beef, like a good diss record against one another. At the same time, this isn't something you should build your career off of, trying to diss everybody in the game just so you can make an easy come up. But if the opportunity presents itself and you have an opportunity to take down somebody big and you believe in yourself as an artist, I don't see the problem with rap beef. Rap beef is a beautiful thing, and it's entertaining to watch, especially if you don't have plans on taking it beyond that. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know how you feel about rappers and beef, and if it's necessary, if they should do it. I don't think it's necessary in the growth of an artist, but I definitely think it could help. If the opportunity is given, definitely go for it. That's just my opinion. It's been Shawn C. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace. I can't put these glasses on top. Oh wait, I can. Look at me. Look. Okay. Alright. Wow. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If not, and you want to dislike because I dropped my glasses, just go ahead. I don't need to live anymore.